Hey guys, it's Austin here, and today we're going to be talking about some breaking news that's going to affect millions of Americans. The government just released a report saying that Social Security is in trouble, and economic slowdown, persistent inflation, and weaker productivity growth are going to hurt Social Security's finances, and it's going to drain its reserves 1 year earlier than previously estimated. This means that Social Security won't have enough money to pay all beneficiaries the amount they're entitled to starting in 2034. So, I'm sorry to say this to the younger generation, but don't expect all of your Social Security benefits. Now, this is a big deal. Unless Congress takes actions to shore up the program, beneficiaries would only receive 80% of what their scheduled benefits are after that point. And I don't know about you guys, but a 20% less pay cut doesn't sound very appealing to me. So you have to ask ourselves, what is causing these problems? Well, looking at lower birth rates over the past few decades combined with a wave of retiring baby boomers have challenged the long-term solvency of the Social Security program. See, in 2021, Social Security was paying more in benefits than it was receiving in payroll taxes and interest on its specially issued treasury securities it holds in its reserves. As a result, the size of the trust fund has been reduced to $2.8 trillion in 2022, down from $2.9 trillion in 2020. And the trust fund will continue to shrink until 2024, when it will run out of money. After that, the benefits will have to be cut and to take account for the lower revenues. Now, on the other hand, Medicare's finances are actually improving thanks to a lower projected healthcare spending than in the last year's report. Medicare's Hospital Insurance Trust Fund will be able to cover all benefits in 2031, 3 years longer than forecasted last year. So what can we do to fix our Social Security problem? Well, to improve Social Security's long-term finances, Congress could have to cut benefits, it could raise taxes, or a combination of the two. And according to Social Security's trustees report, to keep the program solvent for the next 75 years, taxes would have to immediately rise 3.44% to 15.84%, split between employees and employers. But I don't think the US can afford this because of the current inflation problem we're having right now. Right now, employees and employers are currently contributing 6.2% each to their payroll. So that combined is 12.4%. Alternatively, an immediate 21.3% cut in benefits would also put the program on sounder footing without raising any taxes. But the problem is that Democrats and Republicans are expected to launch spending talks this year. Any changes to Social Security or Medicare are off the table in negotiations around raising the nation's borrowing limit. Republicans want deep spending cuts as a condition for backing a debt ceiling increase, but they know that any changes to entitlements would be dead on arrival, politically radioactive unless they have broad bipartisanship support. So what's the bottom line? Well, slower than expected economic growth and higher than expected inflation reduced the projected level of gross domestic product and labor productivity by 3% over the 75% projection period compared to last year's estimates. Inflation-adjusted interest rates are also expected to be higher than forecasted than last year's report. See, the US economy slowed last year, following a strong rebound in 2021 as pandemic-related disruptions eased. GDP rose by 0.9% in the fourth quarter of 2022 over the same quarter a year ago, down 5.7% in 2021. And the Federal Reserve officials expect this to slow this year to 0.4%. And a shrinking labor force and a wave of retirements, the ratio of workers to beneficiaries will fall to 2.3 by 2035, putting pressure on the program's ability to pay benefits. So we'll have to wait and see what the actions of Congress will take to address this issue and ensure that Social Security remains solvent for future generations. It's important to note that Social Security is a crucial safety net for millions of Americans. Any changes to the program will significantly impact on retirees, disabled individuals, and their families. So it's crucial that any changes are made are careful consideration and focus on protecting the most vulnerable members of our society. In the meantime, it's important for individuals to think about their own retirement savings, planning for a future where Social Security benefits may be reduced. This could include contributing to more retirement accounts, investing in stocks or real estate, or exploring alternative sources of income in retirement. As a general rule of thumb, it's almost important to expect that Social Security won't be there for you. So by doing anything you can to help yourself in the future, I bet you'll be thanking yourself. Ultimately, the challenges facing Social Security are complex and require thoughtful bipartisanship solutions. It's up to our elected officials to come together and find a way to ensure this vital program stays sustainable for future generations to come. Do I think this will happen? I have no idea. They seem to be pretty terrible about coming together lately. Nonetheless, Social Security is going to end 1 year sooner than we expected. Subscribe to stay in the loop.